For the research proposal essay, you'll need to log into Canvas and click on Handouts. And once Handouts opens, there's going to be a link up here at the top that's some information about the research proposal essay. Once you open that, you're going to be able to see the setup and the way that I want this assignment to be organized. You'll see up here at the top that it has name, proposal, teacher's name, and date. Notice that this is single spaced up here. The title is going to be the topic that you select. If you picked organ donation, you'd put organ donation. If you picked Social Security, you'd put Social Security. If you picked wind energy, you'd put wind energy. I want you to notice here that each one of the sections would be bold-faced and aligned left here. Notice that these bold-faced sections, overview, purpose statement, and research plan, all identify the sections of each one of the areas that you're going to cover in this research proposal. In the paragraphs here, I've kind of gone through and told you what each one of these areas will include. I want you to read through this very closely. It tells you that the overview is just simply where you actually give a brief background information about the topic. This tells me about the problem, how it got started, who's responsible, what events happened that made this occur, etc. It says here that this part convinces me that you've read several articles thoroughly and thoughtfully about this topic and that you understand the basic information about the content, telling me why you're interested in this particular topic and how it affects other people in society. Alright, when you get down to the purpose statement, you're going to actually go through and tell me the purpose of your research, what it is that you're hoping to accomplish with this. I've underlined a purpose statement for you here. The purpose of this research is to examine vicious dog laws and how their ineffectiveness actually acts as reinforcement of the problem rather than a solution. The rest of the paragraph should go into detail about your questions and concerns that you have dealing with the issues on this problem. From the sources that you read, what are these sources saying that's relevant to the thesis statement that you developed? You are going to come up with, in this section, 5 questions about your topic that cannot be answered with a yes or no answer. Something that's going to almost be like a discussion question that you create that's related to your topic. You do need to be sure to list the 5 questions, and I've put a little heading here that'll show you how to lead into that. In order to investigate the ineffectiveness of vicious dog laws, I will ask questions such as the following. And you see the 5 questions that are asked here. None of these can be answered with a yes or no. What kind of training do officers receive to interact with vicious animals? Who gets to decide which dogs fall under the vicious category and why? Okay, and then finally, the last section is your research plan. This is where you talk about the steps that you're going to take, stuff that you've already done, what your plans are to actually map out your research process. What's your overall goal? Why did you go through and consult the sources that you have? What led you to those? Which ones are the most beneficial? What would you hope that your time and effort would help you accomplish? What do you already know are your strengths and weaknesses with writing and with research, and how do you think that those strengths or weaknesses are going to either help or hinder you? How will you overcome your weaknesses as you progress through this? Alright, there are 3 sections, as I stated, to this. Your title up there at the top, and then the 3 main sections will be bold-faced. They're all the same font size as everything else. This is Times New Roman 12-point font throughout. Bold-faced, aligned to the left, each section. It says here at the bottom, your research proposal must be a minimum of 800 words. It'll be typed, as I said, in Times New Roman 12-point font, double-spaced throughout, to where your paper is going to look like this paper here. If you go back into Canvas, I have provided you with 2 research proposal examples that students have shared so that you can kind of see what it is that I'm looking for. If you look carefully at those examples, you'll see that you have the single space heading up here at the top, you have the title centered in the middle here, you have the overview with the background, the purpose statement section listed that followed step by step what was asked to do, and then the 5 questions, and then the research plan that is listed out here at the bottom. Please notice that there are headers on the pages, the person's last name and the page number is listed. I want you to follow through with that. You can look at this one, you can read over it, and as I said, you can go through and read through the second research proposal example. And as you're this week going through identifying your thesis statement and looking up sources, start working on this research proposal. The research proposal will be due next week, but I want you to start thinking about it and preparing while you're going through the process of researching. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me.